Happening now, a man has died after falling off a roof at a Chautauqua County hotel, the latest from those at the scene. And a new independent probe into Silver Creek School's isolation room claims is now underway. Plus, the push to build a municipally owned broadband network in Jamestown. We break down the plans to do so.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we close out another week. I'm Justin Gould. Our latest local news is coming up, but first let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that, and boy, you have some good news for us this weekend, Dakota.
Yes, we do. If you are looking for that spring air, good news is we've got it on the way. The Warren City Bank Skycam showing you, those good skies out there right now. And it is a decent day, even though temperatures are still below average for today. It's still going to be a nice day. The satellite and radar composite not showing you much. It's going to be a dry day and with some clouds filtering on in later on in the day. 56 was the high yesterday, started the day at 37. 85 and 21 are the records for this day. So through the afternoon, soak up the sun, Sheryl Crow. It's still chilly, but with lighter wind, so that's going to make it feel warmer. Now that 49 is right at the immediate Lake Erie waterfront to 62 while inland with a light north wind. Now, if you like this, we're going to the 70s over the weekend, but don't get used to it because we're going downhill from there. We'll talk about it with the Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
A man who fell off of a roof at a Chautauqua Institution hotel today has died. First responders, including the town of Chautauqua Fire Department, were called to the St. Elmo Hotel. That's at 1 Pratt Avenue around 8 in the morning Friday. The man, dispatchers report, indicate fell 5 stories to the ground below. CPR was in progress when crews arrived at that scene. A medical helicopter was put on standby but later called off. Chautauqua County Sheriff Jim Quattrone confirming to our newsroom the county coroner was called to the scene to investigate the death as his department continues to look into circumstances surrounding this incident. Now, this is a developing story, and when more information is available, we'll be sure to post updates online at WNYNewsNow.com and in our free mobile app. An outside independent investigation is underway into allegations those at Silver Creek Central School locked students in an isolation cell. In a statement yesterday, the school's Board of Education announced the New York State Education Department, Chautauqua County District Attorney, Child Protective Services, and other agencies are now looking into claims that that district inhumanely and illegally locked or barricaded students in an isolation cell within their building. The concerns were first highlighted by Jay Hall, assistant principal at Silver Creek Elementary, in a letter to the district's Board of Education, which was later posted online. The Board of Education alleges since highlighting the concerns, Hall has not been very cooperative. Specifically, officials say he refused to meet with their investigator. Now, despite the lack of cooperation, the district says they'll continue ahead with their investigation with the only goal of getting the truth. They ask anyone who has information related to any inappropriate treatment of children to bring it forward and contact those on the Board of Education. And federal investigators have located a missing baby and her fugitive mother believed to be hiding in Chautauqua County. The U.S. Marshal's Office reports 35-year-old Adrienne Grace Medine, who allegedly fled West Virginia earlier in March after fleeing with her 11-month-old Iris Chittister, was found in Stockton yesterday. Maureen, marshals say, was wanted for allegedly violating a Harrison County family court order to transfer custody of her child in February 2022. Now, last month, investigators focused their search to the Dunkirk and Fredonia areas. And the future of building a municipal broadband network in Jamestown was mapped out during a public meeting and input session last night. As our Julia Gress reports, the idea is the brainchild of Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist, who promised during his campaign for office that he would work to improve the city's infrastructure.
The pandemic, officials say, only bolstered the need for affordable and high-speed internet connections, with families spending more time on the web for work, school, and play. Meeting at the James Prendergast Library Thursday, Mayor Eddie Sundquist and Entry Point Networks consultant Jeff Christensen took feedback from those in attendance. The next step, Sundquist says, is to gather even more feedback.
So moving forward, we'll be creating a broadband commission made up of various members of City Council, BPU, and citizen members to really help us dig deep and determine whether we want to try to move forward with a citywide fiber internet project.
The proposal will build out an infrastructure to provide fast and affordable internet plans to city residents using fiber optics, a faster medium than traditional coaxial cable. Essentially, broadband will become a public utility, just like water and sewer.
Up until now, the internet has been treated as an amenity, so it's a nice to have. But the mayor alluded to this, with the pandemic, there was greater acceleration around policy saying this is no longer an amenity. This is essential infrastructure.
Those who signed up would pay around $35 a month for a gigabyte of dedicated internet service, with the price likely decreasing once initial infrastructure is completed. Rates for the internet service provider are so low because of competitive competition.
The state budget for the first time included funding for municipal networks, and we've had many conversations with the state on the ability to fund a full-out infrastructure.
This funding would mean taxes would not increase to achieve the project, which would be the first in the state. In addition, federal programs would allow 40% of Jamestown residents to access these services for free. In a survey conducted to gauge interest in the idea, 75% of participants said they would support a municipal network. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. Interested community members can apply to be a member of that committee through the city's website or at jamestownfiber.com. As WNY News Now continues, an update on the push to bring Ukrainian refugees to New York. We explain the connection to Jamestown next. And later, Dakota joins us once again with a full look at this weekend's weather forecast. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Whoa, Free Comic Book Day is almost here.
There's comic books for all ages.
Stop on down to Chautauqua Comics at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown and pick up some free comics. From superheroes to science fiction, there are tons of options.
100% free. Just show up on May 7th starting at 11 a.m.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York State is getting ready to accept Ukrainian refugees fleeing their war-torn homeland. Our Alana Wingate joins us live from the newsroom today about the push to do so. And Alana, there is a connection here locally.
That's right, Justin. On Thursday, Governor Kathy Hochul reaffirmed the state's support for Ukraine refugees, announcing Uniting for Ukraine program, furthering President Joe Biden's pledge to admit up to 100,000 Ukrainians fleeing Russia's invasion. To participate, Ukraine must have a sponsor along with vaccination and other public health requirements. They also have to pass various screenings and security measures. A website for those interested in taking part in the program, WNY.gov/Ukraine, was launched this week.
There'll be a new program to roll out expediting humanitarian parolee status, which will allow the families of Ukrainians to apply to have them come and sponsor them to come to the state of New York. So we've been waiting for this.
Once those seeking refuge are cleared, they'd be able to move to a number of citywide states, from Buffalo to New York. In addition to the city of Jamestown could be a contender for those to push this push last December. Lawmakers joined community advocacy groups to discuss resettling Afghan refugees in the greater Jamestown area. With the refugee crisis in Ukraine growing, support for the idea is well, with Congressman Tom Reed now getting behind the idea as well. The reason Jamestown will be a good place to resettle, officials say, is because of the low-cost housing, job availability, and easy access to health care services and support from local school programs. Live in the newsroom, Alana Wingate, WNY News Now.
All right, Alana, thank you. New York Congressman Tom Reed says he saw the humanitarian face of war on a recent trip to the Ukrainian border. Reed was part of a bipartisan congressional House delegation that traveled to Greenland, Denmark, Germany, and Poland last week. He also met with the 82nd Airborne, who are stationed on Poland's front line. Seeing the refugees, he explains, is a reminder of how important it is for the U.S. and members on both sides of the aisle to show a united front in pushing back against rising threats from countries like Russia and China. Also part of the trip focused on how the U.S. can continue to support Ukraine.
Ukraine was advocating through proxies. They want the resources to be able to defend themselves. And so that was part of conversations that we were there. And then they were asking for additional, potentially sharing of information, sharing of those resources on the cyber front and things like that, so that we're working together with those resources we have available in a coordinated way that allow us to be in the best position without going in to Ukraine physically, but be in a position to at least put up a fight to say, Putin, end this sooner rather than later.
Now, he goes on to say the trip was to show solidarity with our NATO allies and to reinforce strength with our partners during this time. New York State Democrats engaged in gerrymandering when they draw new congressional district boundaries for the next decade. A panel of 5 mid-level appellate judges ruled that Thursday. In a divided 3-2 ruling, the majority found the congressional map was unconstitutional, a decision that, if upheld, would block the use of those district lines for the upcoming midterm elections this November. The court found Democratic lawmakers acted within their power to approve the maps after a bipartisan redistricting commission failed to do so earlier in that year. But the judge ruled the 2022 congressional map itself was drawn to discourage competition and favored Democrats. The Court of Appeals is expected to hear that case soon, potentially next week. A service remembering the 4 victims of a fire in a family home in Pennsylvania earlier this month took place this week. Investigators say a problem with a clothes dryer started the deadly fire, and now the community coming together to show their love and support. Erie News Now's Haley Potter takes us to Springboro County, Pennsylvania.
An April 1st fire in Springboro claimed the lives of 4 people, including 65-year-old Hilda Eberhardt and 3 of her grandchildren, 14-year-old William, 10-year-old Matthew, and Destiny, who was just 6 months old. And on Thursday night, family and friends gathered to remember those lives lost in that house fire.
I miss them.
Eliza Perry lost 3 little siblings and her Nana that night.
My Nana's like my best friend. My little brothers, we never were really that close, but we just now getting close again. And my little sister, she only lived 6 months, but it was a happy life for her.
People filtered in, gave their hugs, and paid their respects to the family who lost so much.
And it's difficult to grasp.
Our hearts go out to all of them.
About 100 people filled this church on Thursday evening, family, friends, and even other volunteer fire departments, all with a message of love for this family.
As a parent, you shouldn't bury your children before you.
Florence Gates is the captain at the Vernon Township Fire Department. Her crew was not on the scene the night of the devastating fire, but it breaks her heart for those who were. As a friend of the family and a fellow community member, she came out to show her support.
Just came here to show them that we're here and we support them in anything they need. Everybody's just come together in a whole to help somebody that lost everything, and that's really nice to see.
Aside from relatives, this tragedy is hard to deal with for the young kids who lost their classmates.
I miss him. We still have Riley in the building most of the time. She is a therapy dog, and sometimes I need to talk to them.
That we're dearly loved.
The hearts of so many people with the Springboro family during this time. Haley Potter, Erie News Now.
Haley, thank you. The community, they're holding a benefit for the family on May 1st at the Springboro Fire Hall. Details can be found on our website, WNYNewsNow.com. The race for lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania is heating up, and the candidates are giving it their all in the last few weeks before the primary election there. One of those candidates is Rick Saccone, who is a retired military officer serving in the U.S. Air Force before elected as a state representative. He represented in Allegheny County from 2011 to 18. In 18, he ran for Congress but lost by a narrow margin to Democrat Connor Lamb. During his time in Harrisburg, Saccone served on the House Veteran and Emergency Preparedness Committee. He says his time on that committee would help him with one of the most important roles of lieutenant governor, and that is chairing the Emergency Management Council.
So we did a lot of things for our veterans and our first responders, and so I would continue to do that. We always value our first responders, police, fire, EMS, and our veterans.
Saccone is one of 9 GOP candidates facing off on the May 17th primary. Coming up, a look at the new furry friend that's up for adoption in our Pet of the Week segment. And later, we highlight concerns brought forward by those on Jamestown's Westside during a walking tour last night. But first, when we come back, a full look at our weather forecast. So stay with us. WNY News Now is back in a bit.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area, hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to youth. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense weather.
Well, welcome back on this Earth Day. Yes, today is Earth Day. And speaking about Earth Day, wanted to show you something that was posted on social media yesterday. How about this? See that little white dot right there? That's actually the Starlink satellites. Our good friend John Stalen down there in Erie posted this on Facebook. Clear skies for the Lyrid meteor shower and Starlink satellites. The picture of the satellites was captured tonight in Crawford County. And so I wanted to talk just for a second about the Starlink satellites because we're going to see more of this in the future. So a normal satellite normally orbits Earth at about 22,000 miles above the Earth. Well, the Starlink satellites are actually low orbiting, so they're only 340 miles above the Earth. So we're going to see more of these satellite arrays, eventually in the future as Starlink ultimately grabs attention. And of course, Starlink is a project that is aimed to bring global internet service to the entire globe by using satellites. So it's really cool. And the Lyrid meteor shower still peaks tonight, but I do think we're going to have more clouds in the way. So yesterday really was the best night to get out and look, but we're going to see if we can see some of those tonight. But it's clear right now from the HG News Now cam, 49 light winds, so the wind chill only down to 46. It's still below average. But look at where these temperatures are headed, folks. How about 67 tomorrow, 78? Break out the Bermuda shorts and the metal detectors for Sunday, 71 on Monday. Then we're back down to the 50s for Tuesday. You can see that warm front. That's going to shove on through here through the weekend, but we do have a few showers we're going to have to go through. So the newest Renner Future Scan shows you a few clouds through the afternoon, then the clouds thicken up this evening, then rain showers return through the overnight hours. It looks like the better chance of rain tomorrow is going to be in the morning through early afternoon. Then it starts to taper off a mid-afternoon onward, and then we're going to keep those clear skies going into Saturday night and then into Sunday. And then Sunday is just a looker of a day with a lot of sunshine and temperatures in the upper 70s. 40 to 47 tonight, partly to mostly cloudy with showers arriving overnight. Now the next 7 days of your life, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So morning showers tomorrow, better in the afternoon. Sunday is just fantastic. Changes arrive Monday. We're colder in the afternoon. A few more showers Tuesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Could see a few wet snowflakes, shoot the messenger, and it's just too cold for Thursday, Justin.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger, I think is what we're all looking at, Dakota. Hey, you know, it's Western New York spring. What do you gotta do? All right, thank you, sir. Well, in an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society for our Pet of the Week segment. Joining us live in studio today is Rachel to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. Happy Friday to you, Rachel. And normally we have cats, we have dogs, but it seems like you brought in a smaller guy today.
Yeah, I have Freddie the guinea pig here with me today. He's a big chunky guy. He's super cute. Here, I'll turn him around so you guys can see him. We have him down as around like 3 to 4 years old, and guinea pigs can live as long as like 8 years if they're taken care of properly. It really just depends on health and everything. He is a male, and the male guinea pigs do tend to get a little more territorial and stuff, so right now he's by himself. But he does have 2 brothers that he came with that are also up for adoption at the Chautauqua County Humane Society. We have Spike is one of his brothers. Their cages are right next to each other, so they can say hello to each other and everything. But they're separated because they do get kind of territorial and get into fights, is what we were told. So.
Oh yeah, all brothers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sibling rivalry.
So with our friend here, Freddie, someone who maybe is looking to kind of get started with pets. I know a lot of times, I remember when I was a kid, that was like the first pet we had was a guinea pig.
Absolutely.
How important is it to really educate your kids and a guinea pig specifically?
Right.
It sounds like it could be a good pet for a small family trying to get into that.
Absolutely. Yeah, guinea pigs are a great first-time starter pet, honestly. You should get a cage typically. There's like appropriate sizes and everything that you can get. There's all kinds of different bedding that you can look into. We found out they don't do so well on hay. You can do the paper bedding, but we've been using blankets as well, which is nice. You can decorate their cages, make them all cutesy and stuff. They're really, really docile by nature. They are a prey animal, of course, so they can be very timid. They take a while to warm up. But this guy here, I mean, he's not your typical guinea pig. That's why we chose to bring him, because he's very sociable.
Yeah.
They have like hidey holes in their cages, and he actually just kind of hangs out outside of his and just says hello to everybody. So
That's
you
awesome.
know, yeah,
And
he's super
I imagine
social.
if you do have other animals in the home, and maybe we're looking at a guinea pig, that's probably got to be a
Yes.
dynamic you got to watch for.
Right,
Especially
absolutely.
with cats. I
Yes,
would imagine.
precisely. You know, it's really important to make sure their cage is secure and up safe, away from the other critters who may see them as a little snack. But yeah, he's really chill and everything, like I say, and they do make great first-time starter pets and everything. Like I say, it just takes a while to get them socialized, but he is already pretty much there,
Yeah.
as you can see.
Yeah,
He's dealing with a little abscess on his foot, him personally, but nothing major. It's something he's getting over. So they do have little things to look out for and whatnot, but overall they're pretty easy to take care of. So really, again, a great starter pet and everything. And he's just very cuddly, as you can see.
Rachel, thanks so much for bringing our man Freddie in. Again, to learn more, head on over chqhumane.org. Next, we hit the streets following local leaders as they take feedback from residents during a Westside walking tour of Jamestown. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Dilapidated sidewalks were among the top conversation during a community walk on Jamestown's west side last night. Our Bronson Rasmussen walked along with community leaders who gave some feedback.
Starting at Lincoln Elementary School, the Walk of Ward 4 took place as part of a push by local leaders to gauge residents' concerns. Common problems brought up highlighted the brick roads now falling apart, homes in disrepair, and as resident Mary Stroyeski tells us, just trying to find a decent place to walk is even difficult some days.
I used to walk this loop and I don't walk it anymore because the sidewalks are nasty. I'd rather walk like on McDaniel where there's no sidewalks.
While the Department of Development talked about potentially changing the pedestrian infrastructure in the area, resident and teacher Jim Kama noticed the amount of walkers and animals seen on the tour.
We're seeing a lot of people walking their dogs and stuff. Maybe if there was a collective area for something like that.
Doug Scotchmer explains that there have been many problems in his area in terms of flooding basements when there is a big storm or snow melt.
I've been in 4 or 5 neighbors' houses over the years in boots, you know, because all kinds of water's coming in their basement, and trying to either help them get their drain back in the floor or trying to figure out what to do to try to get the water out.
These walking tours do not only give community feedback, but also show city representatives like Director of Development Crystal Surdick firsthand the problems being presented to them.
The conversation that we had and the feedback that we've gotten, I think was really helpful to us and will help us as we continue to develop this year's annual action plan.
For those who missed the walk or have additional input, are encouraged to contact the Department of Development directly. You can either call them or send a message via the city's website at jamestowny.gov. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Brunson, thank you. This was the third in a series of 6 walks. The next walk for Ward 5 and 2 was rescheduled due to weather. It's taking place Saturday, May 7th at 10 a.m. and noon, respectively. So lots of times to have your voices heard, and I think interesting concerns, but nevertheless, it is walking weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, they're getting out there, they're maybe looking and cleaning up, especially today on Earth Day, to try to clean up some of the leftovers from winter out there. So,
But the thing is, it's like, you know, we shouldn't wait until Earth Day
to do it.
clean up the litter and clean up our planet. Just do it every day. Don't be a slob, folks.
Agree with you, Mr. Dakota. That's for sure. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Do want to wish a happy birthday to Cam. Thanks so much for tuning in every day. We'll leave you with this live look over the lake. Have a great weekend.